A couple of friends of mine have got their own business. They are independent filmmakers. They do corporate work. They do private hire. You know, they film weddings. They film, well, they film anything you want, really. Music videos. They have previously worked for Southend Airport. They've done videos for Southend Airport, for South Essex College, for the Royal Opera House, among other things. They do a film festival every year. That's the Thurrock Film Festival. And they're called Blatella Films. So if you are interested in anything like that, please visit blatella.co.uk. That's BLATELLA.co.uk. Yo! Welcome to episode 4 of the podcast. This is another itty-bitty sort of podcast. I've got a couple of sections with Mark, who gives us a Glastonbury review. Not a review, just his experience of Glastonbury. He mentions about Kanye West. He mentions about Paul Weller. Yeah, quite a good story about Paul Weller and the guys he went with. I also asked him a few questions about what got him into Tour de France and American football and stuff. There's a section of the podcast where I'm giving an update on my health and my chest pains and all that bullshit. And a basic just what's been going on with me recently. So yeah, enjoy the show or not. So tell me about Glastonbury.
It was hot.
Yeah, oh well, no, I bet it fucking was.
It wasn't as hot as 2010, in fairness. But yeah, it was like...
You went on the 3rd, did you?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I've already spoken to Scott. Tuesday, like, late, and then you got there, what, Wednesday, early hours or something?
Yeah, Wednesday, 2 a.m. And then plan was to sleep in a car. Couldn't do that for 2 reasons. One, the car was like...
Full of tents and shit?
No, car was on a slope. But not an up or down slope, side slope. So
right.
Me and Scott were like this. I was like, this ain't going to work.
Was you just used to in the car? Or was it
Jimmy as well.
Brett and Ringo Starr?
No, Brett wasn't there. Brett got the coach.
Oh, Ringo must have had loads of room in the back.
But no, not really, because he had everything else in the back with him.
Yeah,
But yeah, we looked at the queue and we were like, fucking hell, look at these dickheads queuing at 2 a.m. And then we decided we couldn't sleep after about 20 minutes.
Let's be dickheads.
And then got out of the car, and by that time the queue had more than doubled. And then we got out of the queue, and then so we got in the queue, and then loads of cunts fucking pushed in because there was no fucking stewards.
Well, that's England for you.
Fucking annoying. It was like, normally there's like stewards everywhere, like just like, no. But it's, for some reason, well, I don't know why, because it was fucking, there was loads of people who came on Tuesday. Because we thought we were like just about to go in, and then it turned out we were about like half-hour walk away from the entrance. It was a fucking brutal day. But yeah, we got in. It wasn't too bad.
You weren't ill at Glastonbury, were you?
I lost my voice at Glastonbury, and then my sister's wedding killed me off. Yeah, it was good. It's like we all said the same thing. It was like none of us had any expectations for anything. It was like no one really particularly.
Was it quite a different experience being just the 4 of you?
Yeah, it was, but not like only because the last few years we've done that. I've done it before with me and Jess basically did it on our own, even though the others were there, we didn't really see it.
Right.
So yeah, it was weird though because it was like, we need to take it's just us one. So it was like, saw a lot more stuff on your own than normal. Normally there's like someone wants to go and see what you want to go and see, or you can like drag someone along, but we've all got kind of bits where we cross over music-wise, but we're all quite different in what we listen to. So we all at least saw one headliner on our own, I think.
Did you watch Kanye?
I watched Kanye.
Was it any good? No?
Really, it fucking one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen in my life, because it was fucking brilliant when it started.
Yeah.
And he came out stronger, and I've never seen a crowd go mental quite like they went mental then. Like he just had everyone eating out of his hand, right? Everyone singing every word, full volume, like flares everywhere. Like just everyone was loving it. And then he played like an hour of. Well, no, he played Black Skinhead, and then fucking Lee Nelson ran on stage and acted like a dickhead. We didn't know if through him, and he started again, and then he said the famous words that we hear about 30 fucking times the rest of the night: reset. And
he kept fucking up, I think.
Well, this is the thing, right? And then, Lee Nelson disappeared, and then he played like an hour of new stuff, or newish stuff, which basically it included Bon Iver fanning around being his DJ for a while, because they do loads of stuff together. But it was just terrible. And then it was just like he kept saying things like he'd start a song and he was like, no, I've messed it up, and he hadn't messed it up, but he just said like reset.
I'm not feeling it.
You know, he just like started again, but from like 2 minutes in, it's like, for fuck, just get on with it. You know what I mean? And then it got to the end, and like to give you an idea of how much he did some pretty good stuff towards the end, but like, you know, Touch the Sky, the one that's got like the sample from what's his freaking name? Black Soul Singer. But yeah, it's like he did that, and he like went reset, right? But it was a set piece, because what he ended up doing was coming out on a crane and like going above the sky, like above the screen, which was pretty cool. But because he fucking blew it, because if he hadn't just said no, like if he hadn't done it loads of times, everyone would have been like, oh, fair enough. But what ended up happening was the whole crowd just started chanting, always look on the bright side of life, like, you know. And then he did Gold Digger, like straight off the back of that. Like Touch the Sky was really good, and then he did Gold Digger. And for Gold Digger, he did. He started like he went. He's like, "Here, take my money, when I'm in need." And he went, "Stop it, and everyone went, "Oh." You know, like it's about the 5th time he'd done it by then, and he was sort of went like, "Oh, I say it over. Start it again. Here, take my money." You're listening to the greatest rock star on the planet, and everyone just went,
yeah, right.
No. But it was like frustrating, because like the bits that he did that were good were amazing, like really good.
The reviews I read of it, it was like lost interest halfway through.
But that's right. Yeah. Like literally, right, to give you an idea, like I'm a really big fan of his. Yeah. But like the first 3 albums are like head and shoulders above anything he's done before, like or since. And like, as far as I'm concerned, they're 3 of the best albums, full stop. You know, it's not just like rap albums; they are really fucking good albums, right? And the guy behind me was a Scouser, and he was saying the same thing. Like, you know, been to see him 3 times. Once, the first time we saw him was after the graduation tour,
which I imagine would have been really good.
Yeah, and he said like, you know, it was just like the set that you always hoped he was going to play. And then he saw him like 2 years after that, and it was pretty good. And he said like this one, and like all the way through, he was just like, yeah, he's losing me. You know what I mean? Like it's like you had like proper hardcore fans that came away and was like, I'm really disappointed. But it wasn't like it was terrible. It was just like, because I think everyone's kind of overstated it. It was just like, because it was the most frustrated I've ever been coming out of a gig.
I think he was only going to get caned anyway. There was so much in the media about it.
Yeah, but the same with Jay-Z. Like they did, like he would have got caned. Like you could have said that about him, because when it was all going up, it was like loads of people saying it won't work. It's a terrible idea. They've like overextended, and like, you know, he had that was the thing that really annoys me. Is like, whenever I say that I really like Kanye West, everyone goes, why? You know what I mean? Like they don't. And it's like, well, he has got really good stuff, but because all you ever see is him fanning around on a motorbike with Kim Kardashian and fucking being a twat.
Wait, so Beyonce's headlined, Jay-Z's headlined, Kanye's headlined. Is now Kim Kardashian going to headline?
Oh fucking hell! There was a point where he mentioned her, and it was like, and I'd like to talk about Kim right now, and everyone was just like, please don't bring her out on stage.
Throw mud at her. Did you watch Florence or The Who?
I watched The Who.
Good.
Yeah.
Have you heard what was on the Who blog today?
No.
The Who blog. Well, no, it was Roger and Pete said confirmed that they were like confirmed as of about a month ago.
Yeah,
because Prince dropped out.
Oh, was it Prince? We were trying to work it out. I thought it was Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knew that they were like a late edition.
Yeah. But they also said someone fucking sabotaged their shit. Like they
didn't sabotage their shit. They had their stage set up differently.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, from what I read of the thing, they said someone was fucking about with the sound. But thankfully the sound team got it back.
No, what happened was they did the sound check. They turned up really, really weird things kept happening with the timing. So people kept, loads of people didn't turn up to Glastonbury this year, ill or
What artists?
Yeah. I say loads, but I can only think of one person up until this year that never pulled out, and that was U2.
Right. Kylie Minogue?
Oh yeah, Kylie Minogue, yeah. But this year, the time I've been going, that was before I went, sort of thing. But I mean, this year they had Foo Fighters obviously pulled out.
Yep.
Azalea Banks pulled out.
Don't know that is.
She's like a pop singer. Oh god, who else pulled out? Yeah, but, you know what I mean? It was every now and then.
Obviously Kanye didn't pull out because she's pregnant again.
Woo! But
Did you watch Lionel Richie?
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant.
I saw very little to zero fucking Glastonbury.
Pissed myself
Apparently
laughing.
He was shit up.
He was one of the funniest people I've ever seen.
I'm sure it'll be on iTunes or something, won't it? Fucking iPlayer, sorry.
Yeah. He just got up on stage and he was just he walked out, and that's one of the reasons I love Glastonbury, because it doesn't matter what gigs they've done before, they always come out on the stage and do this look and go, fuck me, there's a lot of people here, you know what I mean? And but he actually did a genuine double take, not like a oh my god, for the cameras. He looked and did his wave, and then kind of looked again and went whoa, and turned to his whoever was with him and sort of raised his eyebrows a bit
and was like, fuck me.
Yeah, he was because it was massive. It was 100,000 people.
Well, apparently he was one of the biggest turnouts.
He was the biggest. Yeah. We just watched Old Jay.
Old Jay, yeah.
And Paul Weller's up next. I wasn't that fussed about seeing Paul Weller, to be honest. But I really wanted to see Jamie T, but it was the other stage and it was empty now, and I wanted to see the Who. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'll watch Paul Weller. It's not that I didn't want to see him. It's just that, I want to see Jamie T more. Anyway, long story short, Jimmy goes off for a piss. And there's this older group in front of us in their 60s. We're all standing around talking. And the old bloke turns around to his mate and he goes, heard of this Paul Weller chap before? And his mate goes, no. And I was like, you just sit there, you kind of do a double take. And I was looking around for Jimmy, but obviously he weren't there. I was like, what? Did anyone else fucking hear that? Right? And basically, I was like, nah, they must have an in-joke and it's all really dry and they're just, Anyway, Paul Weller comes on, starts playing. And he very rarely plays his original stuff. Right? He started with Changing Man. They didn't know that. I was like, all right, maybe you just don't know his solo stuff. I'm trying to make excuses for him here. And I was like, oh no, Style Council and that when they start playing it. They played You Do Something to Me, and then he basically went through a greatest hits collection, which isn't like him. Then he played Town Called Malice, and the whole place went mental, right? And the guy was looking around as if to go,
Never heard of it.
How does everyone know this song? I've never heard this. Who's this Paul Weller chap? Right. Anyway, that was weird enough. Then the Who come on, right? And I didn't hear the conversations they were having, right? He sang along with Who Are You? It's not that difficult to sing along with, in fairness. He didn't know My Generation. He didn't know Pinball Wizard. He didn't know, he literally knew Who Are You. That was it.
I think maybe he probably picked up on Who Are You. What are they singing? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
It was
no, literally, who are you? I don't know who you are.
Well, exactly. It was have you grown up in a vacuum of music?
Maybe they come to Glastonbury for the hardcore drugs and shit, and they ended up in front of the pyramid
with their
stage.
picnic box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was weird.
Oh yeah, I bet. Anything else going on with you in the near future? Other than fixing all the shit that's broke of yours. How's your new laptop?
That works fine. No problem with that.
Yet.
Been watching lots of Tour de France.
Oh yeah.
Bloody it's been really good this year, but I kind of forget every time it comes around how freaky they are.
How did you does your dad like Tour de France? How on earth did you just turn on Eurosport one day and then kind of got a boner?
Like with most of the sport I ended up getting into, it was all on at a time when I was in the house on my own with nothing to do. Liking sport in general, I sat down and was like, I'm going to watch this. And
you got into it? That's cool. How long ago? do you think?
First Tour de France I watched.
Well, first time that you kind of... Was it from watching the Tour de France, or did you cycling?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
2009. In 2009? Yeah, 2009 is the year that Cadel Evans was the world champion. Whatever year it was, he was the world champion. Because I can remember him pointing him out. Because the thing with the Tour de France is cycling in general, there's loads of jerseys. So it's each team has a jersey, but then the race has jerseys as well. So Tour de France has the yellow jersey for the leader, green jersey.
Oh yeah.
But then there's also other jerseys that they have all the time as well. So they're team jerseys. So national champions jerseys. So if you're your team's national, if you're the national, the British road race champion, you'll wear that jersey all the time, rather than wearing your team jersey.
Oh yeah. I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you've been putting some stuff on social media recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
A dude in a yellow thingy, and you put about time or something. Finally. Or...
Yeah. This is what I was saying about. There's a guy called Tony Martin, where he's multiple.
Excuse me.
Multiple world time trial champion,
but never the yellow jersey.
No, and he's a German bloke. But it's just really interesting to watch because a lot of time trialists. The thing about time trialists is you can ride on your own without support for a lot longer than someone that's not a time trialist. And so what that means you're quite capable of is. If everyone's distracted at the end of a stage that's supposed to be a sprint, and they're trying to work out who's going to do all the work, or they don't want to do too much of the work, then he attacks. And he's also really good at ridiculously long attacks, far longer than is physically possible. He's everybody loves him because he's just really exciting. You never know when he's going to do something, and he kind of has these absolutely ridiculous efforts that somehow every now and then he'll win a stage. You're like, how did you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But the Tour de France opened with a time trial this year, and it was he'll win that. He's the best time trialist in the field, and he came third. It was no, he came second. He came second. It was it was complete shock the guy that won it. And it's he's not going to win the Tour de France, but to get the yellow jersey for even once for one day is a big thing.
That's pretty cool.
And so he was oh, well, maybe next year. And he's been going for a little while. It's not old. He's in his mid-20s, so he's quite young still. But he's had a few chances, and he's never, it's always conspired against him to get it. It's Mark Cavendish has never won it either. And they're teammates, right? The next stage was this stage into a thing called Zeeland. It's out into the ocean. He's in Holland. And it's really, really windy. When it's really windy, you have to do a lot of work because... you could get caught by the crosswinds and it splits the group up, and so basically they race really, really fast to try and break the group up so they can get away. The leaders the big riders try and break it up so they're in a different group to they're rivals. So they were riding like that. But the guy that was leading the Tour de France ended up caught in a group really far back, and then Tony Martin ended up in a group with the guy that was second to him, behind third, so the second and third overall. And there's bonuses on the line. So if you win the stage, you get 10 seconds off every time.
Like a computer game.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you finish second, you get 6. And if you
pretty cool. I like the idea of that.
And he had a 3-second lead over Fabian Cancellara, and there's a 4-second time bonus.
You know what they should do? In a computer game, there'll be a floating logo, and you go through and it'll be minus 10 seconds.
It is pretty much like that sometimes, though. But
the way you answered the question of how you got into Tour de France, I can only assume it's the same sort of answer with American football, right?
Yeah, it is.
Well, in that case, what is your most interest? Where does is football take third place now?
I wouldn't say it even takes third place.
Oh, sorry, just to butt in. Well, what you can do now you're not going to Latitude is you can go to see Southend West Ham. Friendly. It's on might be on Saturday or something. So it's £12 a ticket. I'm going to see Charlton Southend with my mate, with my work mates, which is the week after. But yeah, I was I'll go. I'm at Latitude.
But I was trying to work it out actually. Order. Yeah, it's definitely cycling in NFL, it kind of like rotates depending on what's going on. Yeah. So like at the moment, like I'd say cycling is probably more because it's the biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
But then when the NFL season starts, it's just like it's such a short season. It's so intense.
Oh, and Formula One.
Formula One, I would say is third, but not this year. I've really enjoyed it this year.
The British Grand Prix had its moments, but that was about it. Oh, but you were in Glastonbury. Have you since watched it?
Sure.
You watched it in Glastonbury?
No, it was here.
Oh, was it the week before you were in Glastonbury?
It was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was the week before you were in Glastonbury.
Yeah, my sister's wedding this week.
Of course, yeah. But mate, time flies. I think I'll leave it there for this episode. I said at the beginning I would talk about my ECG, but I think I'll leave that for another episode. This one's gone on for, 25 minutes, so I think that will do. So, shut up! Tonight the headphones will deliver the words that I can